Hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Pundits Show, episode 72. You have myself, Stretch, and my very good friend Jim Jam, and my very good friend Tin Ribs. How are we, gentlemen?
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. Glad to hear it. Right, do we have a Jim Jam, the Statman Stats?
Yeah, so there's a few teams at the moment that haven't conceded a goal in added time, which is what I discovered. So after the 90 minutes across the league, so more than I expected actually. So West Ham, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Burnley,
shocked Tottenham are in this.
Sheffield United, and Notts County and Crewe Alexandra are the last ones. It was Stoke as well, but they just conceded to Coventry in the last minute this weekend when I was doing it, so I knew that one had gone.
So you just took them off?
So I just took them off.
That's fair enough.
No, I just thought that was quite a lot of teams.
That's, that's not bad stat, actually. That's a good place to move it. Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. We'll do what we normally do at this point, gents, and we shall go into the week's events. I would like to point out that we have just started recording and there is still 20 minutes, maybe including injury time, left of the Manchester United versus Arsenal game, which is currently 1-0 to Manchester United. As an Arsenal fan that predicted we would lose 2-0, I'm not at all surprised by this. And I'm still Arteta out. And anyone that's still Arteta in, you're a dick. So, right, let's go.
There we go.
Let's go on to the week's events. Let's start with Monday. What happened Monday?
Forest won on penalties against Ipswich in the FA Cup. That's what happened on Monday.
Did indeed. I didn't watch that, but I watched some highlights of it. It looked like an average game that I'm fairly glad that I didn't actually take the time to watch. Yeah. Arsenal have just equalised through the phenomenon that is Declan Rice.
That was a great finish.
And I've heard a lot of people slagging Declan Rice off lately, and you're all knobheads. He's absolutely brilliant.
You were half saying it was crap on Friday.
What I said was he hasn't been as good as when he first joined us, but I would never not put him in my team because it's Declan Rice.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was a great finishing off the post.
It was a good finish.
Yeah, it was Thomas Partey-esque when Thomas Partey does his sweeping shots from outside the area. Yeah, that was a great strike.
Great finish.
So well done, Declan Rice. You've
no stopping that.
Saved Arteta's job, unfortunately, for another fucking week.
Yeah. So we'll go back to Tuesday.
Tuesday, it was a fairly dull 1-1 that was won on penalties. Yeah. Tuesday, we had Club Brugge 1, Aston Villa 3.
Good result for them.
Bailey scored after 3 minutes. Then a De Cooper. I don't want to butcher his name too much, but basically Cooper with a U and a Y rather than double O.
Yeah.
And then we had an own goal in the 82nd minute, and Asensio scored a pen in the 88th. So that was basically touch and go for most of that game.
Yeah.
And then Villa sort of pulled it out of the bag right at the end. So fair play to him, because you've got to give it him for hanging on.
Yeah.
And we also had Dortmund 1, Lille 1.
Yeah.
That could go either way, and I actually thought Dortmund would not run away with it, but I had that down as sort of a 2-0, 3-1, like a comfortable couple of goals. And as it turns out, it's 1-1. I think they're having a look at a penalty in the current Arsenal game.
I think that's a penalty.
I don't think that's anywhere near a penalty because
pretty much caught
definite
hands
we did, but
he's not had much chance to move his hands out of the way.
This is what I mean. Like, if we're talking intention, which is what we should be, he didn't intend to handle that. He's not playing volleyball. It just hit his hand. So, for me, it's not a penalty. Anyway, Dortmund 1, Lille 1. I was expecting Dortmund to win by a couple of goals. Yeah. They didn't. And to be honest, Lille are at home in the second leg, and they could take it, as far as I'm concerned. Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 1. Now, should Arsenal get through after their first leg, I would rather them play Real Madrid than Atletico Madrid.
Atletico looked so good. I think
because Atletico are very good defensively.
Yeah, but Atletico didn't look terrible in that game.
And Arsenal cannot break teams down right now because we don't have, forwards. basically. We don't have real forwards that are going to break teams down.
I mean, do you
Real
need
Madrid
forwards when you can score 7?
Are we watching this game? We're currently
We'll
watching Man
ignore
United
this
versus
one.
Arsenal.
We're on Tuesday.
I know, but you're telling me about scoring. This is one game out of the season.
Yeah.
We played a PSV Eindhoven team that, by the way, we won 7-1, which is, I believe, their heaviest ever defeat at home.
I think
Their heaviest defeat in history.
I think
at
it's
home.
the first time that 7 goals have been scored in the knockout.
It is the first.
There was a load
Yeah.
of stats and stuff.
There was a load of it's the first time this, the first time that. I think it's the first time that so many have been scored in the second half and so many scored in the knockout stage and all this sort of rubbish, which is fine and it's great. But PSV were beyond poor. Raya's just literally thrown the ball straight to Man United because he is dog shit.
No, that was because
Because he's dog shit.
Who's your right back? Who's playing right back? Is it Partey?
No, the party's on the bench.
Who's that? Right there, right back.
That's Julian Timber.
Okay, so Timber started to run, and as Raya threw it, he stopped.
Yeah.
If he'd have continued running, wouldn't have been a problem.
Stop defending Raya.
Timber is just an absolute dribbler.
Well, speaking of Timber, he's got our first goal against PSV. Thought I'd mention that because you were slagging him.
That's fine. What he just did is dribbler stuff.
Well,
like absolute dribble stuff.
Potentially. So yeah, we won 7-1. It was a good game. Here's my issue with it. Okay. So we are in what was the minute? Let's actually get the actual stat. There they go. The 48th minute. 48th minute. We are 5-1 up.
Yeah.
Why? This is why I think Arteta is a fucking knob. Why, when you are 5-1 up in the 48th minute, does Butler AG not come on as a striker and get given the last 30 minutes of that game, 40 minutes of that game? You could give him 40 minutes of football in the Champions League. See how he's going to get on. Why did Odegaard play 90 minutes? Or virtually 90 minutes? No need. Nwaneri could have come on off and had a rest.
Yeah.
Arteta, I've said it before and I'll say it again, does not know what he's doing. He's fucking useless and he doesn't do the right things ever. He's a twat.
That was it. Sorry, they just put up a really interesting stat. I'm going to actually rewind this because
Tim's going to rewind it. I missed the stat. I was too busy complaining about Arteta.
You know when you sort of see something and you're just like, that can't be right. So when winning at halftime at home in the league since May 1984, Man United have not lost.
Wow, that's a hell of a stat.
That's crazy.
That's
They've
an
played-
insane
right.
stat.
Pause it. So we'll put that into context, right? They've played, that doesn't help, 388 games, and they've drawn 33 of them. Yeah. So 355 have been victories when leading at half-time at home in the league since May 1984. 388 games, and they've never lost one that they've been leading at half-time.
That's fucking insane.
So if Arsenal go on to beat United today, after being 1-0 down at half-time, it'll be the first time since May 1984 that United have lost at home after leading at half-time. That is mental.
But that's why I had to rewind it, because as it came up,
Actually,
I was just like,
I get it.
That is
I get
insane.
it. That would have taken me if I'd have seen it. I was too busy.
Even when you
bitching
think
about Arteta
that Man United have had some absolutely horrendous results and stuff lately, that's...
Am I wrong for thinking that our youth striker should have come on after the 50th
No, I
minute?
agree.
And am I wrong for thinking that Odegaard should have come off and maybe Declan Rice come off?
Well, when you're 5-0 up,
Saliba come off.
when you're 5-0 up at 60 minutes,
50.
sorry,
Even
5-1
earlier.
up, 5-1 up at 48 minutes, and you're looking at players that you're going to need. Is it worth risking them? Let's be honest. How many times have we seen key players get injured in scenarios like that?
Yeah, this
in
is
the
my point.
80th minute.
Bring them off.
Yeah, and
We
also,
could have.
why not blood? You need a striker. You don't have a striker, so you've got some young kid sitting on the bench who is a striker. What's the harm?
At his level, he's done really well. So it's not like he's been garbage and it's like, well, we'll just put him on the bench just in case. He's there out of merit because of what he's done at the level that he's been at. That was a great save, by the way.
I thought he nearly put it into his own net.
So, that's my issue. Why not just give the kid a chance? We're 5-1 up after 50 minutes. You're not going to get that chance often
No.
in any game.
The thing is, it's like there is your perfect time. That's not actually that good a save. I'm sorry, it's straight at him. He's still nearly spilled it into his net.
Yeah.
But it's a no-no, so they will automatically try to make out he's good because he's Man United's goalkeeper.
Yeah, but if you look at like the greatest ever FA Cup goal, which is horseshit by the way, which was Ryan Giggs's in the semi-final against Arsenal.
No, the greatest ever.
Seaman basically
Patrick
sat
Bamford.
down when Giggs. If Seaman had just stood up straight and held his arms in the air, that'd have been a save.
Yeah, but the best FA Cup goal is Patrick Bamford against Portsmouth.
I mean, I don't know if it's the greatest ever. You obviously haven't seen Paul Merson's son, the one that he hit the other day.
Oh, that was a beautiful
That was
goal.
incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. Wasn't Trevor Sinclair's overhead in the FA Cup as well? That's going to
Bamford's
take
turn
some.
and volley is...
That overhead from Trevor Sinclair is going to take some beating
They're
because
both
was
up there.
phenomenal.
They're both up there, and they're both
I mean,
better.
Bamford's was
Let's be honest.
special.
Let's be honest. Both of them are better than Ryan Giggs is.
Ryan Giggs's was not even close. Like I say, if Steeman had just stood up,
Yeah, but like
that
I
would
say,
not have gone in.
Right, so in like the writers' poll, Bamford's got given the best goal of the season last year. But in the official FA Cup best goal, it was given to that fucking Man United one where against Liverpool. I mean, it was good because...
Dallo.
Yeah.
The one that we cheered in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was young lad.
Yeah.
Dallo. Ahmad Diallo.
Yeah. Diallo.
Yeah.
Dallo's the right back.
I mispronounced it.
No, that's why I got...
I got the right player, wrong name.
And that got voted. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a great goal because it put Liverpool out, but it wasn't
Well, we
that
enjoyed it.
good. Does that
No,
make
I
sense?
agree. The goal itself was average at
And
best.
there is definitely a bias when it comes to decisions being made by which team scored it, and that's what always annoys me because there are some absolute phenomenal goals or phenomenal moments that are scored by players from lesser clubs, but they don't get the look in. And it's like I say, with Onana, they keep banging on about how good he is, but when you actually look at what he's doing, it's not that good. But
No, I
because
mean,
he's-
I
because
have
he's
to
Man
agree
United's
with you.
goalkeeper, they're like, oh, look at this amazing save. And what annoyed me was last season, when Sky Sports did the best saves of the season, they put 2 Alisson saves in there. They were both shit. In fact, I literally sat there and went, why has he palmed it there? Why has he dropped it there? Why has he thrown it out for a corner when there's no one near him? And then they put 2 Onana ones in, and they weren't anything special. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember that one game where I went, what a goal, and he tipped it out, and I went, fuck me, what an amazing save. That wasn't one of them. So they put 2 Onana saves in that were mediocre to average, and yet I'm sitting there thinking, he made an absolute worldie that me, who doesn't mind giving him shit, even I was like, wow, that was a fucking phenomenal save. And they didn't even put that in the best saves. And I'm like, who fucking decides this shit?
Yeah.
84th minute, by the way, Man United Arsenal. What a ball that was across by Kieran Tierney.
I mean, that's a tackle.
Again, though, Declan
Declan
Rice.
Rice.
I'm sorry, Declan
This
Rice.
tackle is fucking unreal.
It's on the penalty spot. Hoyland is about to let fly, and Declan
He
Rice
really
is
enjoyed
behind
that.
him and hooks his leg around
And then
him
immediately-
and tips the ball. And then watch this ball from Tierney now. What a ball that is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kieran Tierney gets a lot of shit because he's made of glass, which he is, but he's a great left back, you know.
Yeah.
He's a superb left back.
Oh, he's got the beating on him.
Oh, of course he has. It's Martinelli. There's not many people that will catch him for pace.
Yeah.
But all he's done is kick the shit out of him.
Heaven is very, very strong. He's a strong lad.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he just...
He's only just left us for Man
He didn't even
United.
try and get the ball. He just kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah. He's just signed for United from us.
Oh, is he an Arsenal player?
He
Ex-Arsenal?
was.
Waste.
All right.
He looks half decent.
Yeah, but Chibo Obi that left us to go Man United probably would have been playing that striker that was scoring.
Why is he not getting a look in at Man United at the moment?
He's not going to, is he?
Why?
Well, because United don't play the youths that in that position. They've got a lot of strikers. A lot of strikers,
Yeah.
apparently. Anyway,
I would question that. Right, sorry.
yeah, I would. Let's go on to Wednesday then. So we've got Feyenoord 0 into 2. I'll be honest, I kind of expected
yeah,
that.
that's no surprise.
Bayern Munich 3, Leverkusen 0. Leverkusen had a red card in the 62nd minute when they were 2-0 down, at which point you just think they're not helping themselves when they then give away a penalty and Harry Kane's on the pitch because he doesn't miss many. Then we had
I'll just save
Tim
you
Ribs was just reacting to the Man United Arsenal game, which is now in the 86th.
This
87th
this
minute.
game has come alive.
Going through.
Another
Ball
great player
played forward,
defending.
ball comes across, and Gabriel with a fantastic tackle. I mean, to be fair, there's been some brilliant challenges by Arsenal defence lately. Right, so we had Benfica 0, Barcelona 1. Barcelona got a red card in the 22nd minute.
Yeah.
So they played most of that game with 10 men,
Yeah.
and then Rafinha scored in the 61st minute, and they held on. That's not a bad result for Barcelona, given the fact that you've got 10 men for most of the game. Because it's got to be a foul, hasn't it? On Raya. And that was awful.
In technicality, it is.
I like Trossard, but that was awful. So Benfica 0, Barcelona 1. Barcelona, for me, played really well with 10 men. Did well to get the win. PSG 0, Liverpool 1. Now, let's just put into context what I've been saying all season. 70% possession for PSG. Liverpool had 2 shots, 1 on target, scored a goal. PSG had 27 shots, 10 on target.
I'm going to
Liverpool are lucky.
Well, Alisson, we know that I don't think he's as good as everyone makes out.
Yeah.
But fuck me. If he ever puts in a performance like he'll never play it that good again. That was an absolute on your day, this is my career defining.
I'm genuinely not sure how we got a 9.2.
Did you see it?
No, it should be above that.
Oh yeah.
Like, what do you have to do to get a 10 as a goalkeeper?
Mate, just phenomenal.
There's 10 shots on target.
If he played
what
that
do you have
every
to do
week-
as a keeper to get a 10 rating?
I don't know, but he was unreal.
Because
Absolute unreal.
I'm not a massive fan of Alisson, but he genuinely built a brick wall that day.
Yeah.
How do you get a high rating as a goalkeeper? A 9.2 for that? Seriously? I'd be annoyed.
Baffling.
But it's the story of Liverpool season. They don't have to play well, and they just get a result.
You want to be careful, because every time I say Liverpool are shocking and they don't deserve to be where they are, they're just lucky, I get slated.
I can honestly say
So you need
I
to
can
be
see us I can see
You're gonna
PSG.
Alright.
You're going to get hassle.
I can see PSG going to Anfield and getting a result.
Especially if they can play like
The
that.
way they
Liverpool was
played.
shocking.
Yeah.
Alisson wasn't, but Liverpool.
Alisson
weren't.
was again. I can't.
Built a brick wall.
He was,
Mate, he was brilliant.
fucking unreal.
He was
absolutely
really good.
unreal.
To be fair, he really was good. Anyway, Thursday we then had AZ Alkmaar against Tottenham. Now, I didn't do a lot Thursday evening, so I actually watched that game. I managed to watch the whole game. AZ Alkmaar were decent. They were decent. They had a decent game.
Yeah.
Tottenham were beyond shocking. They were fucking awful. And I quite enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I bet you did. How long
it was
before
a-
Ange's out?
I don't think they're going to sack him, you know. It's going to cost them a fair bit to get rid of him, so I don't think Levy wants to do it.
Right, so question. Because there's a lot of, not just Tottenham fans backing it, there's a lot of like Celtic fans and other fans. Is it a case of he's just shit? Is it a case of the right investment hasn't been done? Or is it genuinely that they have been that unlucky with injuries that it has crippled them?
Right.
What's
Saka,
your
I
opinion?
think-
I want your opinion.
here's my opinion. Saka's been out for most of the season, or a long time.
Yeah,
We had Odegaard out for a long time.
yeah,
We've got Havertz out.
right.
Our main front line are out, and we're second in the league.
You're not scoring.
But we're second in the
But your
league.
entire defence is still there. Saliba, who is arguably one of the best centre-backs, if not
Yeah.
the best centre-back in the world,
He's up there.
and Gabriel, who, let's be honest,
Has improved a lot
has
over the last 2
improved a
years.
fucking lot. 2 years ago, we both said Gabriel was a liability.
I'd have got rid of him.
But while he's been partnered with Saliba, he's been fucking solid.
Yeah.
So you've maintained your defensive ability. Tottenham's
we haven't been
defence has
scoring.
literally... Yeah, but you score one goal and don't concede, you win. You can score one goal or 2 goals, but if you've got absolutely no defence, they've had 2 goalkeepers injured, their 2 key centre-backs injured, their right-back injured, their left-back injured. This is my question. Do you agree with Ange's thing about suffering with injuries because they have literally been decimated with injuries? Or do you think they haven't had the right investment because they haven't had the right people to step in when they've had the injuries? Or is it
Right,
just...
it doesn't matter how much you spend.
Okay.
Right. And here's my example of it doesn't matter how much you spend or how much backup you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one name should explain it all. Rodri.
Agreed.
One player. That's one injury for Man City.
It's got to finish. Oh my God!
Oh, I'm gonna end the podcast right now. This reaction is because Martinelli's just missed from probably 2
I
yards.
thought Pirro was bad today, but Jesus
To be
Christ.
fair, he's miles offside anyway. But
Fuck
he
me.
still
What a
launched it
bad
over the
miss.
bar from there. But he was offside. He's going to be happy about that. Right, Rodri gets injured. City didn't win a game for what? 8 games? 10 games? It was something ridiculous. Are you telling me they didn't have backup for Rodri with all that they've spent? So nobody can come at me and say...
They kind of didn't, though, did they? Because the person they brought in for backup for Rodri, they've let go out on loan for the last season and a half and never brought
They've
in...
Kovacic, didn't they?
He's not really a backup for Rodri, is he?
So are you telling me...
Phillips
Right.
was the fucking person they brought in to be his backup.
Are you
Look how
telling?
badly that
Are
went.
you telling me, right, that one player from the best team in Europe, as we all kept getting drilled down our throats, that one player missing is the difference between them going on a 20-game unbeaten run to not winning for 8 games? Nobody can tell me that they didn't have the players, that they had too many injuries, and they didn't have backup. Bullshit. They were still winning when they didn't have Haaland, who is undoubtedly the best finisher.
What a save! What a save! What a save!
Okay,
My God!
I have been slagging him off, but that was impressive.
Yeah.
Raya
Mate,
has
Raya
just made
has
a
been
very good double
fucking
save.
phenomenal for you today, mate.
Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So they missed Haaland for ages. The best finisher in world football, as far as I'm concerned. And they still won games because they'd got backup and because they got decent players to come on.
I mean, they seem to have a look that when luck goes your way, you grind out a victory even when they play poorly, and that's what Man City have been doing for a couple years.
My point with that is, it doesn't matter how much backup you've got, you can still be beaten and you can still go on bad runs. So the fact that Tottenham were missing so many of their defenders, you can't then slag them off for not having backup. City had loads of backup, and they still struggled. Yeah. Like, John Stones is a great defensive midfielder. They could have just took him in defensive midfield because he's brilliant at it. Okay, he's not Rodri, but he's very, very good at the job. We're just watching the double save by Raya. To be fair, that first one was good. It was then going in. He then jumps up. His double save ability is probably the best in the league.
That's a great save. And
But-
that is...
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
But-
that is unreal.
He has moments of genius like that, but he's also a liability.
I just...
As
from
an
what I've seen-
all-round goalkeeper, I'd still rather have Ramsdale in that. As an all-rounder. Because Ramsdale doesn't make the cock-ups that Raya makes.
I don't know, the look Jim Jam just gave you was possibly disagreement.
Yeah, but look at what he's fucking been defended by at the moment.
I was going to say, I'm not...
Like, he's got no defence or nothing. I think that's it. Game's
1-0.
over. 1-1. Which we're lucky to have, and Teta for me should still be fucking sacked. I think the guy's an absolute tosser. But anyway, yesterday, we'll go on to yesterday. Oh yeah, you're not going to be happy with this, are you? Liverpool played Southampton. They won 3-1.
Very
Southampton.
soft penalties.
There is something I'd like to say about this game, actually.
Okay.
When Southampton took the lead,
Yeah.
I thought, to be fair, they deserved it.
Yep.
I thought they played really well. Now, when Nunes scored and then won the first penalty, for me, he shouldn't have been on the pitch. Because when he volleyed your guy,
Oh, yeah.
that's a straight red. How is that a straight red for every other fucking team apart from Liverpool?
Liverpool.
How? How did they get away with it? Nunes should not have been on the pitch.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chance.
I agree.
He volleyed him. That wasn't a bad tackle. That was petulance. It was childish. It was dangerous. And it was aggressive. All three of them spell red card. Yet Nunes gets away with it. He then scores the equaliser. He then wins the first penalty. Didn't earn it. He fucking won it.
Yeah. It was
Bullshit.
It was soft.
I
It was
don't
so
think-
soft.
I think you should have potentially been against 10 men and probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
It's where
Absolutely
luck goes.
fucking disgusting.
Liverpool have the luck, and Southampton don't have any.
Yep, I'm actually with you. I generally don't think Liverpool deserved
No.
the result. And like I say, they were
If
too...
you are listening and you do think that Liverpool deserved the win and Nunes should have stayed on the pitch, just email it to you'refullofshit.com and yeah, we'll just ignore it.
But yeah, I genuinely...
Shouldn't have been on the pitch.
I genuinely think they were very unlucky, and they were soft penalties.
That is the worst challenge to not get a red card this season. Not the worst challenge, because there have been some red cards that deserved it. But it's the worst challenge to not get a red card.
Yeah.
If that was the Southampton player doing that,
Oh, he'd
to
walked.
Liverpool, he'd be gone.
He'd be in custody. He wouldn't have been sent off. The cops would have come on and fucking put him in cuffs. Anyway, yesterday, Hudson-Odoi scored in the 83rd minute, and Nottingham Forest beat
Man City.
Manchester City, who we've just been talking about, have got all the money in the world, all the backup in the world.
I'm just loving the fact that
And
Forest
still
are
cannot-
keeping the pace.
Yeah. And
I'm really enjoying Forest, and I
I
wouldn't
just-
mind having their manager instead of Arteta.
Well, now you understand why I was so gutted when we couldn't get him last season.
No, I
2
get
seasons
it.
ago.
I get it. I do. They're now third. They're on 51 points after 28 games, and that for me, for
That's
Forest,
good.
their fans must be buzzing, mate.
Oh yeah.
The fans must be absolutely buzzing
yeah, you would be.
because they're so good to watch as well. It's not like they're not like Burnley.
But this is...
They're
Did you
scraping their
ever
way.
watch
They're
Wolves
decent.
for the first few seasons when he was in charge? They won the championship, then they came up and they were just breath of fresh air. He plays really well. Obviously, once the money had dried up and they weren't investing, and then he was having to sell all his best players and stuff, then the cracks started to seep and he had to go. But it's like I said, when people talk about Bielsa, yeah, we play great football, but then the cracks came pretty
That was
fucking
like
quick.
basketball, though, wasn't it? Watching Bielsa's team.
And it was like, as much as I loved him and it was great to watch, there is a time to go. And unfortunately, no, I mean, the days of managers staying 10 years and stuff is gone. Now, your average manager is what? Even, like, your long-lasting managers is 5 years. So, he was at Wolves for 4, 5 years? Maybe more? So he was always going to hit that point where it is time to go. But I thought he was great. And again, without significant... So the reason that managers get this point where it's like people figure them out or whatever is because they haven't got the ability to refresh the team. So Wolves, they had a great side, Jimenez and all the likes. And then what happens is as they go off to other clubs, Liverpool come in and take Jota. Do you know what I mean? They didn't really replace them. So he can't keep playing his style or keep playing his thing. And then you just lose. And then eventually they go. So, and then he went to Tottenham. I don't think Tottenham give him anywhere near the chance they should. I think Tottenham treated him shitly.
I would agree.
But it's David Levy, so what do you expect?
Daniel Levy. I think.
I mean, we are talking about a club where some of the best managers in
Conte,
the world,
Mourinho.
Conte, Mourinho, all failed. Now, that doesn't say to me that they're bad managers. It says
Would
to me there's something wrong
Mourinho
with
have
fucking
failed,
clubs.
though, because he did get them to a final?
No.
And he got sacked before the final.
He'd have won that final.
I think he'd have won that final.
He'd have won that final.
I genuinely think
David
Mourinho would have
Levy
won that.
is one of those people...
Daniel Levy.
Yeah, sorry, Daniel Levy. He thinks he's bigger than the club. It's like, it's the Daniel Levy show. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look what I'm doing. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Not, this is how my club works. It's all about him. It's not about the club, it's about him. So if anyone's like...
I think a lot of people don't realise that he doesn't actually own the club.
No, I know.
He works for the owners.
Yeah. But he literally, it's about him all the time. And that's why Tottenham are shit!
Nice. Right, I think what we're going to do then is we're going to go for a quick break. We are going to come back with our predictions, and then we will go back into the week's events because we've still got a fair few games to talk about. And we shall see you lovely, lovely people very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. We are in part 2 and we go into our predictions game, which I don't really want to do because he's just scored loads of points.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit salty about it, I'm not going to lie. Right, now we all went wrong. Can you get the Liverpool Saints game up?
3-1.
3-1.
So you had 6-0 to Liverpool.
I honestly thought it was going to be a rampage.
You had 7-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I had 4-0 to Liverpool. So I was the closest. I had the right amount of goals at least.
Yeah.
And I had Nunes hat-trick. And to be fair, he got away with the red card. He then scored and got a penalty that he shouldn't have had. I'm going to take that as him having a hat-trick. Points for it. But so none of us got any points on that one.
I was one away.
Oh, you got a point for Salah scoring.
And I
got a point for
and
Nunes
I said
scoring.
Salah to score a hat-trick. I was one away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Salah was going to get 4 goals,
Yeah.
so you were taking a piss.
So I
yeah,
got a point. I'm happy with
basically.
a point.
Oh no,
We all got a point.
We all got points.
We all got a point. You picked Nunes.
no. I think it's 3 points for correct goal scorer,
Yeah.
5 points for correct result,
Oh, yeah,
3
yeah,
points
sorry.
for.
So we all got three.
So we all got 3
points.
points on that one. So that's not bad.
No.
3 points each. We can do
It's
that.
not bad.
Right. So Portsmouth Leeds. What was the score, Tim?
It was 1-0 to Portsmouth.
It was 1-0
I still
to
haven't
Portsmouth.
figured out who their man of the match was. So it's either Schmid, their goalkeeper, he made some really good saves, or it could quite possibly be Robert Jones, the referee, because that guy is a fucking bell end.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
I watched the second half, not the first half.
Yeah. So they scored in the second half.
They
In
did.
the first half, there was a... Now, Neil Warnock isn't exactly the biggest Leeds fan. Let's be honest. He's never been shy to state how he doesn't particularly like Leeds.
Yeah.
I actually liked him at Leeds when he was our manager, but he's never shied away from the fact that he is a Blades fan. He's,
Yeah.
And when he's going, I don't understand how the referee hasn't seen this. It's a stonewall penalty.
Right, your penalty call. Obviously, initially, I told you that it was fine, just to wind you up. It's. I said to Tin, I haven't seen the penalty. I haven't seen what happened, so I don't know. I can't call it.
Yeah.
So you sent me a video of the penalty. So I watched it. Naturally, I sent Tin a message saying, "Don't see the problem, mate."
Yeah.
That was a fucking
You did.
stonewall penalty. That
Yeah.
was almost as bad as Nunes volleying
Yeah.
your guy.
And the only
Yeah,
difference
yeah.
wasn't Nunes actually given as a foul?
Yes.
Whereas this
It
wasn't
was.
even
It should have
given.
been a red, but it was given as a foul. That was one of the clearest penalties I've ever seen in my life.
And the ref did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And what I'm
Crazy.
saying is, the reason I'm saying that Robert Jones was probably the man of the match was at that point we were kind of in control of the game.
Kind of.
Okay, we were in control of the game.
It's
If
more like
we
it.
are given a penalty at that point and
You win
score,
it. You win it.
I see us going on. And
No, you win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
to-
score that penalty, you've won. Because you were all over them at that point, and their heads would have gone down if they'd have given away a penalty.
Absolutely. And I just think that changed the way of the game. I mean, don't get
I
me
couldn't
wrong.
agree more.
They were brilliant. They put on a really good performance. I won't take anything away from Portsmouth. And like I say, their keeper was fucking unreal. And the fact that Pirro missed 2 absolute sitters really fucking great to me. But I've been saying we need a number 9 for quite a while. However, that link that I told you the other day,
Yeah.
it's just I hope we get Tammy Abraham because that would be phenomenal. I think he's so good. But anyway, going back on it, the referee cost us that game. I honestly believe it. And you know when... Did you notice there was a few fouls right towards the death when we were pushing on the pressure? He sort of gave a few 50-50s, but he gave them all Leeds direction. It was almost like he was like, yeah, I fucked up earlier. I need to sort of make up for it.
Possibly.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
he cost us that game. Massively.
at least we now don't need to go
Do
into
you-
that game
do
when
you
we're talking
think
about
if-
it. Right, I'm gonna just spoil the party here and go, none of us got any points. Because we
none of
all
us.
went for a Leeds goal scorer, and you went 3-0 Leeds win.
Yeah.
You went 4-0 Leeds win, and I went 3-1 Leeds win. So at least I got the
But
Portsmouth goal.
I do
but
want to say
we got that
Portsmouth
quite wrong.
won. They were a good team. They played well, and you know what? You can't win them all. But yeah, Portsmouth, well done.
That's the first one you lost in the league is in 2025.
Since November. Yep.
I'm assuming you were quite unhappy about that as well.
I suppose the positive is at least
It gives-
we'll be playing Portsmouth next
Yeah.
season, so that's a bonus.
That's a positive until they slap you up at your own place.
Shut the fuck up.
Clip that.
But we're still top, so yeah.
You are still top. Right, so then we go into the very depressing Man United versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
I get no points because I said United would win 2-0 and Maguire would score a header.
Yeah.
You get 3 points because you
Yeah.
said it was going to be 2-2, but Fernandes score.
Yeah.
And You Belland, you get 8 because you said it'd be 1-1 with a Fernandez goal.
Yep.
Albeit you said it would be a penalty.
I know, but that free kick
So-
was fucking sensational.
Yeah.
You this week have got 11 points.
Yep.
You've got 6 and I've got 3. So let's find out what Daryl said. Daryl, who, by the way, bet on Leeds this week. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh,
I'm aware
the
of that.
absolute wanker.
Just thought I'd let you know. So he went for Portsmouth 1, Leeds 2 with Pirro, so no points. He went for Liverpool 3, Southampton 0.
Close.
So he wasn't a minute, but he said Saboza Sly would score, which I
did
don't
not.
think he did,
No.
so no points. And United 0, Arsenal 2. I don't know where the fuck he got that result from. Clearly hasn't been watching Arsenal play recently. So unfortunately, Daryl, you are on 0 points this week.
Good.
Which obviously Tim Ribs is now happy about because I've just told him that you bet on Leeds this week.
Can't believe-
Yeah.
I keep telling him not to do that.
Yeah, I think he actually bet on you to lose 1-0 as well.
How did Blackburn do this week? I hope they fucking
Yeah, he did not.
Oh, yeah.
Portsmouth.
Oh, they lost to Derby.
I
Ha!
don't know why it says that he's lost the bet because they did win 1-0.
No, that's the score, you bellend. That's not
Oh,
what he
he'd li-
predicted.
oh, yeah, oh, sorry,
That
yeah,
is the score.
He'd bet on Leeds to win.
Yeah.
I think he's doing it just to fucking wind
I think
you
he
up.
is. But you know what? Since they lost to Derby, how's that playoff position looking?
That's very salty of you, Tim.
Oh,
Ribs.
very.
It's very, very salty of you. Right, so he's got no points. Where did I have the score? There's the score. Right, so Tin's gone from none to 11 points. I got a massive 3 points.
Yeah.
Jim got an additional 6 points.
Yep.
So you and Tin Ribs are now on 11. And where am I going there? And Daryl got none, so he stays on 3. So me and Daryl at the bottom with 3, and you two have both got 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is you two are running away with this. We're gonna have to get some. Right. So
Well,
we
I
need-
think today proved one result can change everything.
Yeah.
we need some games this week, gentlemen.
Okay, so on Wednesday we have Leeds at home to Millwall.
Okay. Right. So Leeds v Millwall. Leeds v Millwall. 10.
So Millwall have beat us twice this season. I'm going to go with 1-0 Leeds.
1-0 Leeds. Goal scorer, please.
Tanaka.
Oh, Tanaka. Old fat knacker. Right, okay, so Jim.
3-0 Leeds.
3-0, you're way more confident than Tim Ribs is.
Yeah.
Goal scorer, please.
Pirro.
He's just your go-to, isn't he?
Yeah, it seems it's pretty safe.
So
Yeah, you can tell you
maybe.
didn't watch today. You
Yeah.
literally missed 2 open nets.
Well,
I'm
he's
going to
not
go
do
for
it again.
1-1. And who's going to score? Should we go for James? Go for Dan James. Next game, please. Tin Ribs.
So, I take it you don't want do you want Champions League? Or,
You can. It doesn't matter as long as it's
Well-
it's a game.
Um,
It's not Premier League thing, is it? It's just to get points for us.
no, but okay. So for fun, we're going to go Arsenal PSV
Arsenal.
because this one could literally be.
Well,
fucking anything.
this could be anything from 3-0 PSV to 8-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, that's
by
what I
the
thought.
look of it. So
Because Arsenal are playing Chelsea on Sunday, and I just think
that'll
realistic-
be 1-0.
Yeah, but whereas this one could be a crazy result, so it gives us that
Right.
little bit of fun.
10 Arsenal PSV.
4-1
2
Arsenal.
4-1 to Arsenal. Goal scorer, please.
Is Trossard going to start?
Probably.
I'll go with Trossard. I'll take Trossard.
Trossard. Jim Jam.
5-2.
Ooh! See, this is
To
why I
Arsenal.
picked this game, because it's sort of like you can just
To
go a
Arsenal.
little bit.
Goal
nuts.
scorer, please.
Goal scorer, I'm going to go with Martinelli.
Even though he's just missed from 2 yards.
Mate, how he missed that. Fucking unreal.
Martinelli. Right, so I am going to go for one each.
Ooh.
And Saliba to score.
Okay.
Next game, please.
Southampton Wolves.
Saints v the Animals. Who are really annoying online. Tin Ribs.
1-1. Kuna to score.
Kuna Matata. Cunha, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Jam.
3-1 Wolves.
Wow.
Cunha.
You got a friend again.
Friend's back.
I am going to go for 2 each. And I am going to go for Dibbling.
Oh my god, you can hear her purring through the microphone.
His microphone's quite powerful. So yeah, Leeds Millwall, Arsenal PSV, Saints Wolves.
I like the fact that you've gone Dibbling, where he probably won't even play.
I reckon he will. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Our manager's a twat.
Right, so let's get back into the week's events then. So we've got Brighton 2, Fulham 1. Brighton scored the winner in the 98th minute with a penalty. How do we feel about that?
Don't really care.
Don't really care. Wow. Well, let's
I'm being honest, I'm not really.
moving swiftly on then. Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich 0. Did we expect that?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the fact that Dean Henderson was on FOTMOB, their man of the match, kind of tells you how good Ipswich actually were. And I actually feel sorry for Ipswich. I'm actually starting to feel sorry for them because they're putting in some really solid performances and they're just not getting...
A bit like Luton, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Luton had some cracking games.
Yeah.
Unlucky to be beaten by us, unlucky to be beaten by Spurs, unlucky to be beaten by Liverpool, unlucky to be beaten by City, unlucky to be beaten by Newcastle. So yeah,
and
they
Ipswich
were...
are putting in some really good performances. And, I mean... If they go down, Delap just happens to transfer to Leeds, I'd be quite happy. But you know, I don't know. It's just I feel sorry for them. They're having a good. You know,
they are good. I think Leeds would be good to get Delap.
The problem you've got for me is I really like McKenna as a manager or a coach, whichever way you want to say it. And I think if he's given the chance, and I think he's earned a bigger team with a bit of a better budget.
Controversy.
Ipswich aren't a big team and they haven't got a mega budget. Look at Luton, look at Blackpool. They all did the same thing. They came up with good managers, but ultimately they didn't have the finance to support the ambitions of the manager and they fell apart.
Yeah.
Because
Luton have literally fallen apart
Brown
as well,
at Blackburn, Blackpool. Brown was a very good coach. Edwards was a very good coach at Luton, and let's be honest, until his team got absolutely ransacked and they just didn't get it back, so he lost his job, and they're still shit. So it's not and it's not like their new manager bounce or anything. They are just that bad. McKenna's suffering the same thing. He hasn't had that. They financially backed him a bit, but let's be honest, the players they were buying aren't Premier League holding stock, are they? So it's like. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I think he could get a better job. I think he could end up somewhere else, and I think he'll do absolutely fine. I think he's a very good manager.
Fair point.
So I do feel sorry for him.
We'll skip your shower shite because we have spoken about it already. Brentford 0, Villa 1. I actually thought Brentford would win that.
Villa are
but it was 50-50.
Villa are doing well, but again, Villa are suffering from that our first season in Champions League. Yes. Like Newcastle did. They haven't got the squad for it. And I don't see them getting Champions League football this season either.
I think they could do without getting it this season, to be fair.
But where do they go from here? Because...
rebuild next season.
Yeah. I hope
just
so.
Try and push on a little bit.
I just think that they need to... I don't know.
For me, I think like teams like Villa or Nottingham Forest or whoever that are going to get Champions League.
Forest will do the same again next season.
They need Champions League, then not, then Champions League, then not, then Champions League, then not, to build and build and build and build and build. And then when they get to a certain point, then they'll be like better prepared to actually challenge in the Champions League and the league as well. But I think you need to be in and out, in and out, in and out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And not do what Tottenham did and go in, out, out. Never to be seen again. And in 3 years, they'll be in League One. So I think what we need to do is go on to the last game, which is Wolves 1, Everton 1. Didn't really know what to expect from that game. Not shocked it finished 1-1.
No. I think that's
my take on that.
That's sort of like we were saying, when you sort of go, this is an expected result. Wolves aren't bad enough to be going down. They're not really good enough to be going anywhere north. So they are sort of in and around where they are. They're just going to meander at that point. Everton, even with the Davis Moyes revival, are still in that position of where they're going. They're still bottom half. They're still lower down. So when you get two teams that are
10 points above Wolves now, so they've made strides away from the relegation because they were at risk at one point. So they
they put Moyes in.
Yeah, and they've made big strides away from it.
Yeah.
So it depends whether he can keep that.
I just
going.
think that those are the kind of teams that are on the same level. So a draw from those two is not a surprise because they're sort of. That's their level. That's what you expect from teams in that region. If Crystal Palace played Wolves or Everton, you're kind of looking at it and going, it's a draw.
Probably a draw. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that's their bracket. That's where they are. So yeah, for me, 1-1 draw, not really a surprise.
No, I'm with you on that one. I am with you. So let's skip to today then.
Chelsea Leicester.
We did have Chelsea Leicester, which was 1-0 Chelsea.
You'd expect more, wouldn't you? Especially with
you
Chelsea
really would,
being
because Leicester have not been good. I mean, Chelsea, fourth? 14 wins out of 28. Leicester are 19th with 4 wins out of 28. And they're on a minus 37 goal difference.
Yeah.
You would expect more from Chelsea.
I
just think Chelsea were quite poor today. I haven't seen the game, but for it to be 1-0, I can only expect that they've just been poor.
Yeah.
Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2. Now, I had Zach this weekend, so obviously I watched the majority of that game. I missed the last bit because I had to take him home, but I watched the majority of that game. Now,
gutted Clive Oakes' goal.
For me, that, unfortunately, was such a good goal as well. So for it to be ruled out by offside is gutting. Not just because it's against Spurs, but because the goal itself was phenomenal. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, it was a wonderful team goal. Wonderful goal. It's absolutely devastating for all that hate Tottenham and all Bournemouth fans that got rejected because it was great. Now, what I will say, did you watch the game?
Highlights.
Bournemouth should have been 6-0 up by half-time.
Really?
Right, Vicario, within the first 16, 17 minutes, made 4 great saves.
He's a good keeper.
And I mean great. The first one in particular, low and to his left, 1-on-1. The shot was well hit, and he managed to get his hand there and push it around the post. It was quality save. It really was an impressive save. So Tottenham got very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and go with the referee this, the referee that. They got lucky because Vicario played really well. Bournemouth had a couple of one-on-ones that they did poor with. Vicario made some great saves. And then Spurs started to get back into it, but very slowly. Very, very slowly. And then in the second half, again, I mean, the pen was a pen that Tottenham got. It was a definite penalty.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a deserved 2-2, but you do feel sorry for Bournemouth because they did score a quality goal in the second half, which would have given the win. And obviously in the first half, they should have been miles ahead. In the first 20 minutes, it was just an outstanding Vicario performance and some horrendous finishing by Kluivert that meant that Tottenham still had a chance. And then we've just watched the absolute shower of shit that is Arsenal and Arteta draw 1-1 with Man United. Now, I've now seen the free kick because I saw it at half-time when they showed the replays. Cracking free kick by Fernandes.
Yeah.
I am a big advocate to Raya being a shite goalkeeper, but there was fuck all he could do about that free kick.
No.
And he made some great saves in that second half.
Oh yeah,
He
he
did.
did.
He made some phenomenal saves in that second half. So I'm not going to slag him off too much, although I still think Ramsdale would be a better goalkeeper for us. Anyway, Rice scored a good goal, which went in off the post. But Arsenal are lacking. We are lacking effort in certain areas. We are lacking ability in certain areas. And we are lacking a fucking striker. I don't know how many times people need to say Arsenal need a striker. How many times the pundits need to say Arsenal need a striker? How many times the interviews need to say, are you getting a striker? Before Arteta realises, we need a fucking striker. The guy's a dick. He's an absolute dick. I'm not even sure if he went to fucking school at this point. Honestly, he's an absolute reject. He should be nowhere near football management and definitely nowhere near a top job. And I do consider Arsenal to be a top job for a manager.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think Arteta
Okay.
should be anywhere fucking near it.
On my previous comments, then, would you take McKenna?
I'd take anybody over fucking... At least he's a manager. He's a fucking manager. Arteta's not
Would
a
you take
manager.
Edwards?
Who's Edwards? Where's he at?
Luton.
Ex Luton manager.
Oh, probably not. I mean, personally, I'd go for Eddie Howe. I'd just go all out and give him money for Eddie Howe and just buy him out of his contract.
Interesting.
Because I don't think, and I'll say it now, I'm not sure if I've said it on the podcast before or not, I don't think there's a manager on the planet that could have taken Bournemouth from where they were to mid-table in the Premier League. I don't think there's a manager anywhere in the world that could have done that, including Pep, including Ferguson, including Arsene Wenger. I don't think any of them could have done that. And I think he needs a real run at a real fucking ambitious club. Because Newcastle, for me, are not showing that ambition.
I don't know.
Really?
They are. They're buying players that they can. With their financial constraints are quite strict.
They shouldn't be. Pay the fucking fines like City do. Spend hundreds of millions, pay the fucking fines. You Saudi run or whatever it is, or fucking... So you can clearly get away with whatever you want to because City are doing it. So they're clearly not as ambitious as City because they're not willing to put that effort in and that risk in.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to be at a club like Arsenal are willing to spend.
Yeah.
Some dumb twat seems to think that we need Marino because he's mates with Arteta, and Sterling that we need to pay 200 grand a week for because he's mates with Arteta. Zinchenko, Jesus, because they're all fucking friends of the manager. Fuck him off. Get an actual manager in that's going to realise what we actually need. You need a striker. What manager in the Premier League now? Like, give him a summer and go, you really need a striker. That is the one position you need to fill. Which manager in the Premier League is going to go and buy Kai Havertz? Apart from Arteta. None of them, because they're not fucking stupid enough to go, I know, I need a striker. Kai Havertz is good. Dickhead. I'm not saying Kai Havertz is a horrendous player, right, because he's not. But he's also not a striker. And then what do? Right, we're playing for 30 games running, and then we go on a 2-week break, right, where the players are meant to rest.
Yeah.
And he did pressing training. Do you know how hard that is? That's hard at Sunday League level. Can you imagine how hard that is at Arsenal's level? This is a 2-week break, so the players can have a rest, and he does pressing training. Guess what? Havertz injured.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm just watching the Raya saves.
Yeah, they're just showing a run through of some of the saves that he's made.
He was on fire today.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
We're not talking Alisson fire. But
that's the thing. He goes from this quality goalkeeper that can
great
do
save.
that sort of thing to an absolute liability. How many times did he throw the ball straight to Man United? Do you know what I mean? It's
Once.
stupid things like that.
Once, and that was
Once.
Timber. That was
Fucking
Timber's
arse.
fault. That was Timber's fault. If Timber had kept
Defending
running,
him.
no. If you were a striker, and you see your
If I
friend
was a
running
striker.
through, yeah, you're not anymore, mate. But if you see your partner running and you thread a through ball and he stops running,
I smack him. I
so what-
literally slap him in the face.
and that's literally what happened. Timber starts his run, Raya rolls out to him, and Timber stopped and then ran.
I mean, some of the defending today was superb.
I mean, that
from
is a
Arsenal.
block. That's an absolute block.
That is a save and a half from Gabriel there.
Yeah. So the
And Rice earlier.
To be fair, for both teams, today has been a good game. And that last 20 minutes, both teams just came to life.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
It seemed like a bit of a United Arsenal game from the
Yeah,
past.
it was actually.
Yeah, because there was a little bit of needling there. There was a little bit. The
You know,
challenges.
there was only
with
one yellow
flying
card
in.
in the entire game.
That's impressive, actually, because there was some challenges in there, like some
Here we go.
decent
Here's that
challenges.
free kick again.
This is the Fernandes
it's
goal
just
in
how quick
47th minute.
So nothing wrong with Raya's position. It's just
But there's no stopping.
Look at how
that. I
quick
don't care who you are. You're not.
look at how
stopping
quick this hits the net. I mean, that goes up and over
that. You're not saving that.
and doesn't even slow down.
That is
just
a quality free kick. I mean, fair play to Fernandes. That was really well hit.
It is one of the best hit free kicks I've seen. I mean, that
Yeah.
literally goes between their fucking
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
There's no saving.
And it's
that.
curving back.
It's just one of them.
I mean, the problem with it at the moment is that this weekend it's given Liverpool another 2 points.
That they don't deserve.
And I'm sorry, the last game of the season is going to be so boring because the league's going to be wrapped up, relegation is going to
Yeah.
be wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's
You know what? You're right.
it's a shame because you like to go into the last game of the season with like 6 teams that can get relegated or something, or a bit of a title race. It goes down to the wire, and unfortunately this year,
Yeah, it's just going to be
it's just going to be all wrapped up.
This is going to be wrapped up like 2 games to the end of the season.
Yeah, because all the relegation will be all set.
2-3 games
and
towards the end of the season. It's all.
I mean,
wrapped
Liverpool
up.
are going to win it long.
So the
before
only
2
thing that's
games
going to
before the
be
end
of
the
any
season.
interest, which hopefully it will be, is who's going to get the Champions League spots. Because at least that is tight at the moment. You know, Arsenal are obviously going to wrap up that second place, you'd imagine. And then you've got...
Possibly, I don't think that's...
And then what we've got Forest, Man City, and Chelsea, let's say, that are probably looking like they're going to be the ones battling for 2 spots.
Yeah. I mean, tomorrow night we have got Newcastle West Ham. If Newcastle win, Newcastle will jump up to 6th. And they will be on the same points as Man City. But unless they score 7 goals. So
Yeah,
if
I
they
can't
beat-
see that happening.
If they beat
So
West
you
Ham
can-
7-0, they'll jump Man City. But
I mean,
we
don't get
could
me wrong, it's
include
not unheard of.
Newcastle in that list then for going for the Champions League.
I think so.
So hopefully that may have some
So
interest.
just to put
Because if
context,
that's wrapped up before the last game of the season,
Nobody's
really-
going to watch the last game
nobody's
of the
going to be
season.
watching it.
all the way down
because-
to... So I'm going to word it like this. All the way down to 10th is Champions League spots. And the reason being, Man City are on 47. 10th spot Fulham are on 42. It's only 5 points.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that close, actually.
Yeah.
I never looked that low down.
So Crystal
Jesus,
Palace are on
that's-
39. So
there's not a lot in
let's
that.
rule Crystal Palace out. But Newcastle, Bournemouth are on 44. Newcastle have a game in hand.
And Bournemouth are not exactly crap.
Villa are on 45, but they have played 29 games. So they've actually played more than everyone else, other than Liverpool. Brighton are on 46, City 47, Chelsea 49, Forest 51. Then it's 55-70. So I think
55 and 70. That's the top 2.
I think
It's embarrassing.
Arsenal are secure in the Champions League.
You'd have thought so.
I would agree with that.
It's gonna be a complete collapse. Obviously, they've not won in 3 games, but you know it's going to take a lot
They're
more
still
than that.
Do you know what
Still
bugs
8
me the
points
most
above
about
Man City.
Do you know what bugs me the most about this particular phase of Arsenal's illustrious history? Is, do you know what I'm hearing a lot of? But you're getting Champions League.
I hate that.
You're getting Champions League. I'm like, do you know how much fucking shit Arsene Wenger got for getting Champions League?
But this again
The
comes
best
to my whole-
manager in our history got fucking slated left, right, and centre for getting Champions League. Now we've got this fucking
Douchebag.
tool. Everyone's saying how amazing it is that he's getting
Do you remember
Champions
how I
League.
was saying about Tottenham? And I was saying, it doesn't matter where you finish in the league because trophies matter. Because in 15
Thank you.
years' times, no one is going to give a shit where Ten
No.
Hag finished in the league. All they're going to go is, he won 2
He won
trophies
2
in his 2
trophies.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because no one remembers.
Nobody's going to remember
Nobody
Tottenham
gives a
played
shit.
Champions League football in
Nobody remembers.
2012 or whatever
Nobody
it
remembers
was.
a single position they finished the league in 20 years ago. But if you won a trophy in that year, you'll fucking remember that. So at the end of the day, this it's all about getting Champions League.
I think you'll find it 2004, I will remember where Arsenal finished
Exactly,
in the league
first.
20 years ago.
Exactly, they finished first.
We went unbeaten in
yeah,
2004.
but my point is, you won it. So
Yeah,
you
we did,
finished
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
That's the only time you remember
I
anything.
can't remember who finished second.
Probably Man United.
I imagine it was Man United, but I don't know.
But we could be wrong.
100%.
Could be.
And that's the point. But that's the point, isn't it?
Nobody
one
cares.
remembers. No one gives a fuck where
Nobody
you
cares who finished
finish.
second.
It's all about trophies.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nobody
so
cares.
there is so many teams in the Champions League.
Right, I think what we're going to do, lads,
Wrap
is
it
we're going to wrap it up, and then we'll have a quick break, and we will come back with part 3. Hello and welcome back from the break to part 3, where we don't talk football and we just talk shite. And I'd like to talk about a disappointing experience that I've had. In as much as I watch a guy on YouTube called Beard Meets Food who does a lot of food challenges and eats food all over the world.
I'm jealous.
And he's eaten a lot of different burgers, a lot of different breakfasts.
I'm a huge
Blah,
foodie,
blah,
so
blah,
this
blah,
guy literally sounds like...
Honestly, mate, some of the stuff that he does eat looks phenomenal. And he's absolutely obsessed with Five Guys, the restaurant Five Guys, or fast food chain Five Guys. And I've never been, and I was desperate to go. So I met up with a very good friend of mine and my son on Saturday. And I said, well, I fancy going to Five Guys. I've never tried it, and I've heard how amazing it is. So let's go. So we had 2 burgers. We shared a large chips because nobody really fancied them. And my son had a hot dog. And we obviously had a drink each. 45 quid. I'm okay with that because I've heard it's amazing.
Mm.
It was okay. It was all right. It
You
wasn't.
left
It wasn't phenomenal.
Underwhelmed.
I left thinking I'm not going back there again.
Yeah. I just
Because
don't understand the fact. I don't understand.
I can make that burger myself.
Yeah.
But less dry.
I just don't understand the thing with Five Guys. Everyone bangs on it. It's just like...
I was so excited.
But it's just... It's literally disappointment in a bun. The money you spend... you spend on it is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I'll tell you where it's
I
good.
mean, the
I'll
burger
tell you
was
where it's good.
alright,
Do you want to try a
but-
good burger that's sort of the same sort of idea of a... I mean, you can't call them gourmets. But Wednesbury, near IKEA, there is a place called Smash Burger. And I was talking...
Somebody told me about that
Yeah,
after I'd
so
been to Five Guys.
the irony being, I can't remember who I was talking to at work, and as soon as I went about Smash Burger, I went, yeah, far better. But they're not as renowned. But Smash, next time you are in the area, give Smash Burger a try. They are actually genuinely
I might
very
have to
good.
go there next time.
And you know what the
then.
best part is? They're nowhere near as fucking expensive. I just can't get my head around the cost. The only thing I will give Five Guys credit for is when you buy a portion of chips at a ludicrous price, you do get a lot of chips. The fact that they taste like ass is a different thing.
Again,
What's
they
with
were
the peanut
all
oil?
right.
What's with the peanut oil though?
I don't know.
I mean, thank God I don't have like peanut allergy because there was no menu. I didn't know they were peanut. So literally, I put one in my mouth. It was like eating starch. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean,
Horrendous.
just
No, sorry.
given the reports I'd had of it, and then you go in and, like I say, you pay nearly 50 quid
Yeah.
for 3 people, which you don't mind if you're going to have a good experience. Like, but it was all right, and I'm genuinely a little bit disappointed.
I think that's the problem. I think that the hype carried with them is so like you literally hear about Five Guys being the best burgers ever. So when you
Yeah.
have something that's so bang average and you've paid so over the price, it's like I've been conned here.
Where's that place you go to? The chicken place.
Wingers.
Wingers. I'd rather go there again. 'Cause
Wingers
was,
is
that was
amazing.
lush
That is
when we went there.
Wingers are absolutely
That
amazing.
was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That place you took me to, didn't you, a few weeks back?
Yeah.
Just before or after we'd been to football or something.
Yeah, and then
that
I
was
brought
lovely.
one, and then I bought one over before a podcast, and Jim Jam tried it, and then,
he come back with one the next week.
Yeah.
That's the sort of place you want, where you're going to go. Somebody's going to go, this place is lovely. You said to me, we need to go to Wingers because I think it's really, really good. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll give
But
it
again,
a go. I'll
for
try
10
anything once.
For £10, I have 6 chicken tenders, an entire box full of chips covered in their like house
was fucking-
sauce with
that-
chives. And
That
everything.
Yeah.
was glorious, by the way. I don't know what the shit that sauce was. That was glorious.
Their
Oh,
house,
it's
the
so
household.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
So
amazing.
you get like a massive portion of their homebrew loaded fries.
Yeah.
6 tenders, which is enough.
Of course,
Doused in whichever sauce you want, and a drink for a tenner. And then there's Five Guys going, here's a burger that might tickle your stomach lining if you're lucky, because it's like very small, and we're going to charge you £10 for a bundle of average.
Yeah, I was massively disappointed, and
I still to this day don't understand the hype at all with Five Guys.
I certainly don't now. I was, like I say, I was excited. I was looking forward to it. I'm like, oh, I've heard how good these are, and like there's this guy that, like I say, eats all over the world, and he's excited about the burgers. They must be good. No, they're not. Like better than McDonald's, but
Not much.
not for the sake of fucking paying £10 just for the burger.
No.
And I'm like, oh, it's a bit disappointing. Really.
I wouldn't.
So there
put
we
it-
go.
I genuinely wouldn't put
Yeah.
them much higher than McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, the burgers are definitely better than McDonald's, obviously. It was basically cardboard at McDonald's. But then you get what you pay for at McDonald's, don't you? You know what you're getting. You know it's
Actually,
super fast
no,
food.
the one thing I will say about McDonald's was I always remember the reason you went to McDonald's instead of Burger King was literally because of the cost.
Yeah.
Now, Burger King is far superior to both McDonald's and Five Guys.
Mm.
And for the same price as a burger from Five Guys, you get a whole meal with Burger King.
I took my daughter to
But
Burger King not long ago.
£2 more than McDonald's, you get the far superior burger. So all of a sudden, McDonald's are now becoming, for me especially, a less interesting prospect, purely because the cost difference isn't that much anymore. Whereas originally, it's like your Big Mac meal and stuff was like £5.
Well,
And now it's like £8.
the thing I did the other week, took my son. It was in the school holiday, so I took him to oatcakes and milkshakes, and I had the oatcakes
yes.
and oatcake, and I had a massive monster shake and stuff like that. And I didn't finish it and stuff. And for the two of us, I spent like 27 quid or something like that. And I was like, you know what, that's not too bad really for what I had. But then I went to McDonald's, and the order was like 31 quid in the end, and I went like that, and I went, the food's worse, and it's getting really expensive.
McDonald's prices have absolutely rocketed because McDonald's were the cheaper alternative before, but now they're
That's
just,
why they were getting hammered, is because they were so cheap. So everybody went there because it
Yeah.
didn't cost anything.
but they're not now. And I just,
Yeah, it is. It's definitely rising.
I mean, KFC aren't cheap, but now because of the McDonald's prices, KFC and Burger King are for me just more appealing.
well, they're viable options now, aren't they?
Well, I
Even
can
for-
either spend £8 on a McDonald's meal that I need to supplement with extras, taking it over £10, or I can go and buy a £10 Burger King or a £10 KFC.
Yeah, which lasts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
So,
yeah. There's a definite difference, and like I say, I was disappointed with Five Guys. I will try that smash burgers.
Smash burgers, yeah.
I'll try that one next time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll take them both
but,
to
okay,
Smash
just
Burgers.
quickly on the whole value for money. £24 at KFC gets you a family bucket.
Yeah.
How much do you think £24 gets you at McDonald's? Because I bet you don't get past 2.5 meals.
You can get 3 meals because I took me, my daughter, and Ethan, the 17-year-old, and I think the 3 of us ate, but it was about 23 quid.
Yeah,
for
23
the 3
quid.
of us.
That's 2 adults and a child. A family
Yeah.
feast at KFC will do
Well, I tell you now,
3 full-blown adults easy.
I bought one of them not long ago because I went
I've actually-
to help a friend with a house.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I bought one of the big KFC buckets
Yeah.
at £24.
Yeah, about 25 quid.
It's like 25 quid or something.
Yeah, you get 4 chips.
And it fed.
sides.
It
And their
fed.
chips are so much better now.
They are getting
They're-
better, aren't they?
They are getting loads better, actually.
And they've got that
and
seasoning, haven't they?
McDonald's, yeah, because now they season them. Because that was the worst part about
KFC.
your bucket was like
The shitty, greasy
the,
chips.
the
And they were
shitty
dry,
chips in
weren't
there.
they? Half
And
the
never
time,
have it.
just dry.
Whereas now it's like I look forward to eating the chips in these value buckets. Now I'm like,
Yeah, that fed a few of us, and there was still quite
Still
a bit
there,
left over when we'd finished. Like
Yeah.
it fed me, her, I think, her 2 kids, my daughter, and there was still stuff left.
Yeah,
when
but
we'd
that's
finished.
what I'm saying. So McDonald's
was a
these
lot in
days,
it.
it just isn't.
Their chips are now going worse in the rankings as well, because they used to be like the top.
I mean, are they chips or is it just salt now?
But even like I think Burger King do offers now where you like get two adult burgers, 2 kids burgers, a set of fries and drinks and shit, and like that's a bundle deal sort of thing.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's for me these days McDonald's just is not as appealing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I had to bring it up.
I mean, it never
because
was really that appealing to me.
I was so disappointed with my experience.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Given
Five
what
minutes
I've heard and what I was expecting, maybe my expectations were wrong. I don't know, but I was so disappointed. I really was. I don't think I'll ever go back because I've been once, was disappointed, and there's no reason to go and spend 50 quid for 3 people again.
No.
Because I just don't see the point. So yeah, I've been once, and that'll be me done. I think for 5 guys. I don't think I'll ever go back. I'll try the smash burgers because that sounds pretty cool.
It is. I genuinely was very surprised, and I was taken there by my mom who hates burgers, and even she was like, "These burgers are good." So I was like, "If my mom's saying they're good, there's something there." And yeah, it's one of the better burgers I've had.
Well, in a couple of weeks when I've got my son again and my mate comes along, then we'll go down there.
Yep.
I think give that a go for change. So yeah, what have you two got to bring to the table this week? He's got tiredness by the look of him.
Tiredness, yeah.
He looks like he's about to pass out.
Is that all the alcohol you've had, or have you been working
Yeah, I
hard?
drank far too much last night.
Oh, last night.
Yeah,
What did you have last night?
just went out all day.
Wow, like an all-day bender.
Yeah,
Damn.
And when is it you go to Ireland again?
week Monday, 8 days.
I think.
So you're just preparing for that?
Yeah, he's prepping.
Are you
his
warming
liver.
up?
I warmed up. I've nearly
Look
broke
at
me.
him, man. Look at
Nearly
him.
broke me. I've finally been broken now.
Fucking hell.
It doesn't help that my new lady has been helping me with my kitchen today, and I was going through the alcohol cupboard, and the first thing he walks in, I went, "Do you like Jack Daniels?" He was like, "Yeah." I went, "Here's a bottle of Jack Daniels."
My comment was, it'll be a while till I drink that because I don't want alcohol again.
Yeah, so
He's full of shit. That'll be
good
gone
thing-
by Wednesday.
yeah, but the thing is, he can now save money because he doesn't need to go out and spend ludicrous amounts of money because I've given him a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Are you going to stay in?
This week.
You fucking full
He's
of
got his
shit.
kids. He's got his kids. We've already
I've got
discussed
kids.
this.
All week?
He's got his kids this
pretty
week.
much. So
He's-
should be having them Tuesday, Wednesday,
Sobering up.
Thursday. So, and at the weekend as well. So
yeah. So
We're
Okay.
sobering up a
pretty
little
set.
bit,
Okay.
detoxing,
I might come and see you at the weekend then
The
because
odd-
I've got
the
my
odd
little
whiskey.
girl.
the odd whiskey just to top it up.
yeah.
Or you come down to me and we'll go to Smash Burgers.
Hey, that's a good shout. Take the kids to Smash Burgers.
I'll take Daisy down there. She'll wreak fucking havoc in that place.
Actually, look, it's a proper diner. You're sitting there and everything.
If she won't. She'll be off causing fucking problems. So,
No, do
yeah,
it.
we can go down there.
We'll see what we can
As
arrange.
long as I don't get in trouble for having a mate with me, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So, yeah, you've got alcohol to bring to the table then, and a hangover and tiredness,
Yeah.
droopy eyes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell, stacking. Tin, what have you got to bring to the table this week?
Not much, really, to be honest. It just work's been good again. I do a 2-week course next week, as of next week.
On
Um,
something higher? I don't mean
So,
specific.
no.
but something higher?
So
or you?
basically, in order to get the job I've had, I had to pass a group of a section of courses to get to the pay grade,
Okay.
and then I could apply for other jobs. Once you're in that job, there's another pay grade package. So it's sort of like, yes, you've attained it, but now you need to learn the job.
Okay.
So it's not just a case of you've got the job; they give you additional training. So I've got a 2-week additional training course, which means that since I've joined my job in over a month, I've done a full 4-day one, which is an internationally recognised course, which is great. That was a 4-day, and I've done 6 online courses, which are boring. I've done 2 one-day ones, and now I'm on a 2-week one.
Have you done any work in this time?
very little by the
Or
sounds
do you
of
just do courses?
it. So far, it's just like.
Is it work or is it uni? What have you joined?
Well, my job is coaching and training, so I'm currently getting up to the standard in order to deliver. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I can't really deliver
Right,
something
okay.
I'm not qualified in because that would be a bit.
Liverpool, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm currently going through all the stages to learn new stuff and it's bettering myself as well. And I was actually really hurt to find out that one of my lecturers from one of the courses sadly passed away last week.
Damn.
And that was a bit
That's not
harsh
good.
because that lecturer was absolutely brilliant. She was
That's not
absolutely...
good.
You know when you get those people who are just really charismatic, they're fun, and even though you're doing like a really boring subject, they make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of those, and out of the blue, I just found out.
That sucks, mate. I'm sorry to
yeah.
hear that.
Yeah, so
That's a bit shitty.
yeah, so yeah, really, really took the wind out my sails a little bit on, when did we find out? Tuesday. Found out Tuesday.
But you are bettering yourself.
Yep.
You're enjoying your job.
I actually bumped into one of the lads who I used to work with, because he's doing one of the courses, the ones that I passed beforehand, and the first words out of his mouth were, "Wow, you look so much healthier."
Yeah, there we go.
And that was very much getting validated for why I took the pay cut, changed
You
my
realise
job.
you've been a lot less aggressive on the podcast as well.
Have I? I don't know.
Have you
don't
not?
know.
Have you not? You're not going to have paid any attention because you're made from alcohol right now. I think your blood is about 70% proof at the moment. So you're not going to notice shit. You've been a lot less aggressive over the past 3-4 weeks.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, a lot
No,
less
but it's
aggressive.
I've noticed that shift work, when they say it kills you, it's true. And I have took
it eats away at you.
I
It's
have
horrible.
massively took a pay cut. I mean, that's no lie. I've took a pay cut to get this job, but my life outside of work has been so much better.
It shows.
And I've now got a regular sleep pattern, which is great.
I've known you 20 years. You've never had a regular sleep pattern.
No, I know, yeah. And now I do. To the point where I woke up this morning at 6:30 and I was wide awake, and it was just like, fuck. Went out of the shower, and then I actually went back to bed for an hour. But yeah, I wouldn't have done that before because I was always trying to catch up
I
on
mean,
sleep.
I get
was always
that
tired.
because since I now don't do shift work and I'm Monday to Friday 9 to 5, then
You've got that. You wake up at the same.
it's so much better
yeah.
waking up at a normal time.
Yeah. I just.
I don't know what
feel
you're
better.
looking at me for. I start anywhere between 10 at night and 4 in the morning. So
Yeah, but that's
my
what I mean.
job's
But
shift from day to day.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally, the lads. The first words out of his mouth was, "Wow, you look so much healthier."
You do look a lot better.
So
I personally wasn't going to tell you. I'll just tell you you look like shit, but
hey,
you do look a lot better than you did.
but no, everything's
You
good.
look a lot happier as well.
Yeah.
And you seem a lot
God,
happier.
Yeah.
Well, now you've eaten anyway, you miserable twat.
I was proper hangry.
You
Earlier.
know,
Yeah.
he was proper grumpy when we got here. I didn't realise all it would take us a bit of cauliflower.
Oh,
to
you should have
fucking
been
cheer
here
up.
when you
Holy
weren't
shit.
here because you were making him get more and more
Mate,
angry.
I will say, right, that I don't even know how I've done it, but I've injured my back so badly today that I can barely walk. And I couldn't get off the bed earlier and genuinely called my cousin upstairs and said, you might have to take Zach home because I don't think I'm going to be able to get off the bed. So Jay decided he was going to pull me off the bed, which by the way,
Hurt like fuck.
fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
It sent pins and needles down my legs. It was so painful. And so I nearly hit him, but he managed to get away and I couldn't chase him because I was fucked. So yeah, my back is in fucking pieces today.
Yeah. To be fair, when you
it's
walked in, it did
sore.
look like you'd just been done over by about 4 lads with
mate,
baseball bats.
honestly. But the thing is like, this is how I know I'm getting fucking old, right? I don't think I did anything.
No.
I think I
But
did
again,
anything.
no.
I think it was...
Doesn't matter.
I've hurt my back this badly by putting something under the
Yes,
bed.
but the thing is, that's a knock-on effect from
That's
when you
what
fell
they
out.
say.
No, but when you
pick
fell
up
out,
a pen and you
Yeah.
hurt yourself.
I was on the way into work, went through a turnstile, and as I pushed the turnstile, my back went. It took me about 10 minutes to walk a 3-minute journey because I could barely move.
It's so bad.
And everyone
isn't
just took the piss out of me. And it gets to the point where people go, "So how'd you do your back in?" And you try to think of something that's cool.
There's something that's less shit than I was just putting something under the bed.
Yeah, and
stood up, and all of a sudden I'm in
because
agony.
You think putting my back out, standing up, people are just going to be like
fucking
bollocks.
bad, innit?
But it's because that's the shit that does it. But it's all knock-on effect from when you fell out the cab.
Causing the
Yeah.
earthquake.
Well, I fell out of the back of the tray. No need for that. Fell out the back of the trailer. That was awful. Yeah.
No, but that's the point. And because you didn't let that rest and sit properly.
Of course I did. I didn't play football for weeks after that.
And how many days off did you have? How many days of rest did you have?
I don't want to go into that.
Exactly. You didn't let it rest. So now your back is fucked. So from now on, because you didn't let it rest and heal, you're going to have back problems for the rest of your life. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. That's where I am. And you've seen some of the treatments I go through for my back.
Yeah, I don't fancy any of that shit. You look like you've been attacked by fucking aliens half the time. It's weird.
Giant octopus, mate. It's great.
Yeah.
That's what we used to tell my little one.
I don't fancy that.
I've been
You must
wrestling.
have scared the shit out of him telling him that with all them things on your back. Yeah, it's not much fun.
No?
Really sore. But then I've been given some strong painkillers by someone that's constantly in and out of hospital, so that should help, hopefully. But yeah, sore. And I've got some cream that you've given me as well.
That's good stuff.
You had issues as well. So yeah, hopefully it'll be all right, and then in a couple of days I'll be back to normal. I can't see it, but I'm optimistic more than hopeful.
This week's a write-off.
He's
You're not
still
playing
going to
football.
vote yes to football on Friday. And
He
change
should.
it lastminute.com.
I generally think you should.
This week, I think, is going to be an instant no.
You are a write-off this
I
week.
think this week's going to be an instant no, because I just don't. I don't even think I'll be able to stand in net. I think it'd be pointless. So I'm going to vote no this week, but I will try and get the vote up on time. I was getting harassed from every angle last week. So my phone comes up when I set an alarm. My phone, for some stupid fucking reason, sends me a reminder. Your alarm's going to go off in half an hour. But because my head was in about 4 different conversations, that come up and went, alarm, and I'm like, fuck, the alarm's gone off. So I put the vote up, but it was actually the half an hour reminder for my alarm. Like, why has it come up with a reminder?
Because you set your calendar, you actually set notify.
What, on the alarm? You'll have to show me on the alarms afterwards. Because that, by the way, is fucking irritating.
An actual alarm, or was it a calendar notification?
No, it was an alarm. I set an alarm, and then half an hour earlier than the alarm's meant to go off, it comes up along the top and says your alarm will go off in half an hour.
Yeah, that's just
annoying. Dead annoying.
Especially if that wakes you up.
No, it doesn't.
If you were asleep.
It doesn't come with a sound notification.
Oh, right.
It just comes up. But because I was like, obviously, I'd mentioned that I've split up with my now ex a few weeks ago. So I was getting loads of messages from her. I was getting a message from Tin Ribs. I was getting a message from another friend of mine. I was getting another message from my cousin. And I'm trying to deal with all these fucking things. And then that popped up at the top, and I'm like, oh shit, the alarm's come up. So I then put the vote out, and then I'm like, doesn't that normal? And I had a look. I'm like, oh fuck, I've put that out early. Shit, I felt really bad for it as well, because I know that you two like wait for the 8 o'clock thing. And
yeah, well, I'm playing badminton between 7 and 8, and for some reason I think it was about 10 to, and I'd just finished the game, so I just went over and checked my phone and my bag.
It wasn't
and
intentional.
And the vote was there, and it was like on, because you get 26 people, and it was on like 24 when I voted and stuff like that.
It wasn't intentional,
like, wow.
pal, so I apologise for that. It wasn't intentional. I was just a bit waylaid from other things.
Yeah.
And being busy and being attacked. So, yeah. So it was all good, but I'll try and do it. But for me, it's definite no this week. I definitely won't be there Friday. As much as in my head, I think I'm going to recover tomorrow. It's not going to happen because I'm in fucking agony. And I know it's going to be painful for a little while. So, yeah. I think what we're going to do, boys, is we're going to call it there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and get some food. I don't know what you two are doing, but I'm getting some food. I know you're off.
Yeah.
I might go to bed.
You need to go to fucking bed. So if I was you, I'd either kip here or kip in your car, because I'm not even sure if you're going to make it back home. Because you've definitely fucked yourself up yesterday, whatever that was. So I shall be seeing you wonderful gentlemen later in the week, probably Sunday now, because it won't be Friday.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the balls with you? Are you there Friday?
I should be.
You can take the balls then. That'll save me travelling all the way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we'll sort that out.
We'll sort
right.
That.
Yeah, because I won't be making it now. Right. So thank you very much for joining us. And if you've got anything you'd like to tell us, then as usual, it's Sundaypundits@gmail.com. And if you don't want to talk to us and you just want to listen, that's fine. We shall be back here again next week.
We will.
Good night.